I'm not going to say that Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders are both too old to lead the party, but I will say that they are both seasoned. So who else that might be a generation or two younger can help carry that message for the whole party, I guess?
So I am working on a story about how everyone is running for president.
Everybody's running for president, right?
Yeah. Are you running for president?
I'd like to announce right now officially. Well, you know what? My Congressman John Delaney has already jumped.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
He's John Delaney's running mate.
Yeah. I'm already in the district. He's got a sound vote in me.
Well,
President Delaney,
bring the Maryland burbs to the country.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, exactly. John Delaney, who I think like 3 people outside of your district had heard of.
Can we please just call him President Delaney? Give the man some respect.
Yes.
Good grief.
Yes. So anyway, so yesterday I made a list of everybody who is, talking about it, and it's like 30 people long, and we are in, August of the year right after we just inaugurated.
Yeah, we just
the last
finished.
So I don't know is the short answer, but the longer answer, there's a lot of interesting people. I personally think that the most effective nominee at this moment, and we're a million miles away, but it's so much fun to prognosticate.
Oh, I love it. No, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Bill hates it, but he ain't here, so what do I care? Let's do it.
So I think it's somebody outside of Washington, a governor, a mayor, somebody who can credibly run against the party, run against Washington, and do that. Somebody like a guy like Steve Bullock in Montana. He just, he won a state that Hillary Clinton lost dramatically last year. He's like a populist guy. His first big legislative accomplishment was campaign finance reform, which is something that I heard from Trump voters everywhere I went around the country last year. They talked about how, politicians are in the pocket of corporations. So somebody like that, I think. But there's a lot of people who could credibly, or could at least try to credibly claim that message. I'm not sure that anyone has risen above it, which is why you have 34,000 people in the field next year.
We're going to end up, by the way, with a situation where we're going to have you remember the JV debates from the Republicans?
Yeah.
When Lindsey Graham and who else was in there? George Pataki.
Rick Santorum.
Bobby Jindal.
Rick Santorum.
Bobby Jindal, yeah. You remember that awful campaign video that he put out with the overhead camera watching him and his children?
Yeah, it looked like a surveillance camera watching his kids in the backyard.
This is creepy.
Oh.
That was really bad. But, we're going to have that again for the Democrats.
There's going to need to be, third string, fourth string.
No. I mean, we really. I mean, everybody. To your point of it's going to come from someone from outside of Washington, which I think you're onto something. There's nobody that can be excluded right now, right? Like everybody should be taken seriously because Donald Trump was absolutely not taken seriously by 90% of the country when he announced, and we're talking about President Trump.
The one candidate that's really intriguing me, and Alex, I'm sure you
Mark Cuban.
No, not Mark Cuban. Please, God, no. Can't run a basketball team. Shouldn't run the country. So, Alex, what about Seth Moulton? Because Democrat from Massachusetts in the House, and more importantly, perhaps, he's a veteran.
Yep.
Do you think of the Democrats running a veteran? Think of the Jason Kander ad with the, loading the gun blindfolded. Do you think that that's a good play for the Democrats?
Definitely, and that's why the DCCC you're seeing in these House races, they are going out of their way to try to recruit veterans. It inoculates you on the gun issue, and you can at least talk to people and not get caught up on it. And I think against a guy like Donald Trump, you can. Part of why the Khazir Khan thing was so effective was that message. He said, you never sacrificed anything for your country. My son gave his life. Somebody like Seth Moulton can speak about that personally. Or a guy like Jason Kander. I was talking earlier this week to Pete Buttigieg, the South Bend, Indiana mayor guy.
Pete.
Yeah,
very good.
Who ran for DNC chair. And, because I ask every Democrat I talk to these days, are you running for president? And he said, I'm going to Iowa next month, literally. And it's like, okay.
I'm going to take that as a maybe.
Yeah. So, and it's like, sure. He's also an Afghan veteran, but that's, sure. The mayor of South Bend, Indiana could be a credible candidate for president in 2020. But yeah, I do think there's a lot of these young veteran Democrats coming up that are super interesting. Seth Moulton is at the tip of that spear, but there's a guy in Ohio who's running for Congress who was a former Navy pilot, like literally Tom Cruise in Top Gun.
Nice.
And then he ran this organization that recruits veterans to deploy them all over the world for disaster relief. Like, awesome, right? That's just
great.
Like a great story.
Yeah.
There's that woman, Amy McGrath in Kentucky, who ran that awesome ad about her, she's the first female Marine
Like a Hollywood
pilot.
movie that ad.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a bunch of these super interesting candidates cropping up. There's going to be a bunch of new governors, potentially, Democratic governors, coming up in 2018. So I think it's totally possible that it's somebody we are not even talking about, have not even heard of now, and it very well could be a veteran.